All right. How's everybody doing? Good. My name's Zack. I'm with Bliss Audio. First off, just wanted to say thanks to Perfect Circuit for letting us come and do this thing. It was awesome. And also wanted to say, if you didn't get the memo already, there's beer up here if you're of age, and also a raffle. You can get tickets to win a Tonal Recall delay. So make sure you get a raffle ticket. You can't win if you can't play. Can't win if you don't play. So
how many do you mean away?
Just one. Also, there's pizza in the back if you didn't catch that memo either. I'm just gonna run through some of the functionality of our pedals and a couple different scenarios. If any of you guys have any questions, just like cut me off and say whatever you're thinking. I'm totally down to stop and just talk about just about anything. So yeah, with that, let's get going. The deal with our pedals is that they're all analog circuits controlled digitally. So what that means is that you have the analog sound that you would with your more old school effects, but then you're able to do things like, say, presets, have MIDI functionality, you can ramp parameters, do all kinds of cool stuff like that. We've got 4 modulation effects, a delay, and our new gain stage pedal, which is boost, drive, and fuzz in 2 channels. So I'm just going to play this little pad. I'm going to keep that going, and then I'm just going to start running through some different functionalities of the Brothers, our analog gain stage. So you have 2 channels here. Channel A is going to be all JFET circuits. So here's the boost on that side. If you put the gain all the way up, you can get a little bit of clipping, but it's primarily just a clean boost. And then with this toggle, I can switch to a drive, so it's going to be a little bit heavier. You can take the tone to be super dark, or like really bright. And then we have a fuzz. And then you have the same thing on the other side, but it's going to be IC circuits, so it's going to be voiced a little bit differently, but also boost, drive, and fuzz. So what's cool about this is that you can run either channel independently, or you can do them simultaneously. So I can have, say we have a drive going into another drive. So like, say we have like a clean boost on one side, and then like a really gritty fuzz on the other side. I like this one a lot. And then you just blend in a little bit of fuzz. It's almost like you have like a broken speaker. So you just have like a little bit of fuzz. Next, we have Spectre, which is our 3/0 flanger. So what 3/0 flanging is essentially you have 2 delay lines, and one of them is moving and one of them is static. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the one that's moving, I'm going to take it totally out, and then I'm going to sweep the one that's static to the point where they're facing each other out. So make sure it's all set. was I took that same setting and then I just made it a square wave, so to like bring in and out that ducking at a more dramatic rate. You can switch the polarity, so you won't be able to get the ducking, but you'll get a slightly different flange. And then if I bring this all the way down, you'll notice that it's starting to self-oscillate. Just kind of a cool effect, so you can have just the Spectre on its own making some noises, kind of like that, you know? And next we've got Gravitas. This is our analog tremolo. Yeah, what's up? Nope, this is all mono in, mono out. So my favorite function on the Gravitas is this little dip switch in the back here to switch it so that you can go between standard tremolo. So that's going to be your volume modulation. In the middle, or on the right, sorry, is going to be harmonic tremolo. So that's going to go sweep your tone stack, almost like a round face kind of tremolo. And then in the middle, you're going to be able to do both simultaneously, so you can get a little bit more or less subtle sounds. One thing I like with the Maju shape on this is being able to change the waveform square on one side, triangle on the other, and then slow it down. So you get almost like reverse swell kind of thing happening. It's cool. It can get pretty choppy if you're into that. And then I've got a few presets loaded on here that I'm about. So one is ramping the volume while having a faster tremolo going, so you're going to get like a double tremolo kind of thing happening. And I'll explain all this in a little bit. So this is like a nice little setting. About that. And then on the left here, I've got a momentary effect. So I'm going to take the depth and the rate, and when I engage the effect, it's just going to take that point and then taper off. And I can re-trigger that at whatever rhythm I choose, you know. And that's all engaged with these dip switches on the back. Yeah, what's up? Yeah, so it's essentially controlling any knob on the front of the pedal. So one side is which knob you want, and then the other side is which direction you want that to sweep. So like, say I wanted the opposite to happen. So instead of having the depth and the rate both go down at the same time, say I wanted the depth to go down, but I wanted the rate to go up. Like I could have them engage in any direction, you know? So it is different per pedal just because the knobs are different per pedal, but it's the same format. So a lot of people get a little bit overwhelmed with the dip switches on the back. There's a lot of them, you know, but it's one of those things that is like, if you learn one, you know all of them. Like it's very easy to just take one format and just be like, okay, I know exactly what this dip switch is going to do. I know exactly how it's going to affect the knob on any of our pedals. So yeah, I don't know. Next, we got the Tonal Recall delay. So this one, we're in settings, sorry. So it's got 2 delay chips in it, and with this toggle in the middle here, you're going to be able to switch between having one of them on its own. So this is the longest delay time with the single chip. Let's do something a little bit more, let's see here. staccato. Or I can just even hit it like that. There you go. So this is the longest delay time with the single chip. And then in the center here, we're going to do both the chips in series. So it'll be a longer delay time, but grittier repeats. So you can kind of hear they mark up as they go on. And then the toggle on the right is going to be both of them in parallel. So you get like a washier multi-tap delay kind of thing. Let's tune this up. So with this preset here, I have it on the toggle on the right with the mix all the way up and some modulation. So you can get like this nice reverby wash happening. Another thing you can do with this is having the mix go from all the way dry to all the way wet. So if I were to take out the delay signal, or the delay time completely, but have it be full wet, I can use this modulation section as a dedicated like vibrato. So you can hear how it's bending pitch. And you can switch that waveform between sine, like I have there, triangle, or square, which gets a little bit more goofy. And you can get all sorts of weird stuff happening there. And then if I were to go back to just having your standard delay sound, right? I can do tap tempo with different subdivisions, or if I hold the tap button, it'll max the regen to get it to self-oscillate, which could be like a neat little performance trick. Again, with the dip switches in the back, you can ramp any of the parameters on the front of the pedal. So like with this preset, I have it ramping the time knob. So when I put something into it, it's just going to be turning that time knob, and just like what was happening before, where it shifted the pitch, it'll just be doing that on its own now. So I'm just playing one note, and it's just kind of going on its own. No, it's only engaged when you engage a dip switch on the back to a specific knob.
But all the ramps, whether they're like inverse or not, they're synced?
Yes, all of the ramping is on its own LFO. It's not synced to the other LFO for the modulation effects. So you can get some neat, like asymmetrical, like two LFOs going at different rates, or yeah. Next pedal is Warp Vinyl, which was the first pedal we came out with. It's a vibrato chorus. So with the mix all the way up, you'll get your pitch vibrato. Let's turn this guy down a little shape on this one's pretty cool with using like the square wave. So if I were to have like the depth all the way up, and then I set whatever rate I'd like, then I can have this like really rigid pitch vibrato. I can be at whatever rate I'd like. If it's fast. And then here, and then phaser's our last one, and that's going to be able to switch between 2, 4, and 6 stages. So let's just get that loop going again. So this is your 2-stage phaser. 4-stage. And then your 6-stage. You can go super slow. Sometimes I'll just like leave it on 6 stages, really, really slow, and just have this on for like entire section or a whole song even. And it's like hardly noticeable, and you can get some really nice subtle textures happening with that. You can do some neat stuff with ramping on this one as well. So like here we've got ramping the volume, so you're getting like a tremolo phase type effect. And then with this one, we're ramping the depth, so you get this nice square wave. And that can be cooler for if you're playing in time, like kind of like we were doing on the vibrato. So that's kind of running through the basic functionality of each pedal. Does anybody have any questions about that kind of stuff? Make sense? Sick. So yeah, next we can like think if this was like a drum machine, we can just play a little sequence. Ooh, it's like that Snoop Dogg too. It's probably like there though. There we go. So yeah, this is what I really like using the brothers on is just like beating the crap out of some drums. It's great. So with the tone all the way down, it's just like very low and heavy, very high and heavy. And if you're doing the parallel, or not the parallel mode, the stacking mode, so like if I just run this into another thing that's just gonna be even brighter. It's just nice to have like 2 EQs to be able to kind of like go into each other and see how they affect each other. So like if we have a really dark signal going into a really bright signal, what's that sound like? What if we switched it? What if we had one be really bright, one be really dark at the end? What if they were both fuzzes? Yeah, drum machine with some effects on it, you know? Like delay sounds really good on it, brother sounds really good on it. I mean, they really all do once you get them all going. But getting like the right combination of like phase on it after it's being delayed, you just have the mix up. We do that same thing where we were like ramping the time with like a full mix. So it'll be like shifting around the time, but it's still keeping the same sequence. So you get this kind of like, this like hurry up and wait kind of thing that's in time. I think it's really neat. Yeah, so I mean, I could sit here and like tweak these knobs all day and have it be totally different. But yeah, it works really well in that kind of context. Works really well with guitar. I mean, I can run guitar through some things real quick. You want to switch over to that? Yes. Sweet. Yeah, I guess I'm trying to figure out how many people here are guitar players versus synth players, like trying to get a lay of the land. So, like a lot of guitar players here? Some guitar players, yeah. You know? Let's see here. Am I cool to plug this in, man?
Yeah.
Sick. Ooh. What we got going on here? All right, cool. Okay, so we've got all these effects running kind of the same way that we were before. So here's the brothers, channel A, fuzz, with the gain all the way down, so it's like still just going. It's super bright. You can get really heavy with it. We can make it a little bit more subtle too. You can stack in some interesting ways. Like what if we did like a drive into blended them up. So we got dark signal, bright signal. One thing I like on guitar with our pedals is the warp vinyl, just going like full depth and super slow. So then I don't have to do that dumb thing that I was doing. Warp vinyl obviously has like this character to it with the filtering to make it a little bit more dark, like definitely super dark. So I just took it off. So you'll notice that it's significantly brighter than this character. I don't know. Some nice settings. Anybody got any questions thus far? Anybody want to talk about anything? Yeah, you got it.
Can I play it?
Yeah, dude, please. Anything in particular you'd like to try? How about you play, and then I'll just like come up with some settings that I like. And we'll see how that goes. So right now I'm just doing a clean boost into another clean boost, and it's getting like pretty crunchy because you're just taking one signal and just like slamming it into another signal super hard. So I switch the order of that. Let's something else real quick, 1 second. So, one thing that our pedals can do is be controlled by CV, or an expression pedal. So what I'm going to do is plug these cables in and see what they do. Actually, I want to do this one. So let's see here. Let's set this up real quick. How's everybody doing? Sticking with me? Cool. Sit. Great. So let's see here. A is here we go. So what I'm doing right now is I'm setting it so that each step in a 4-beat sequence. No, I don't even have a pick. I was playing my first one.
When your team was designing these pedals, did they have particular applications in mind, or did you foresee people using them on all sorts of instruments?
I think Joel, the owner and designer, definitely had like an idea to take an analog circuit and just give the user as much control as they possibly could have, you know? So having with the modulation effects, like the ModuShape engine, to be able to change the wave shape in any way that you could think, or having the dip switches on the back to be able to ramp stuff like that is like definitely, the idea is there to just be like, I just want you to have any like capability with the pedal that you could think of. Like it sucks getting a pedal and turning a knob and having it be like, oh, I just wish it went a little bit farther. I just wish it did this one thing, you know? So that's definitely like the idea here with all of our pedals, you know?
Do any of those switches change what gets modulated with the expression pedal?
Yeah, exactly. So with all of our pedals, excluding Brothers, there's an LFO that's modulating like we were doing before. But if you have a TRS plugged into it, it's then controlled by expression pedal.
Yeah. So with the Tonal Recall, I saw that like you can express the modulation in general.
Yep. Yeah.
So is there a way to change it to like to where the pedal might express like delay time?
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm hooking up right now. So can you see that guitar? Or yeah, strum a chord. Just strum a chord. So that's it. On like a 4-step sequence, each sequence is changing the time. So I can make that a little bit more subtle or different, you know. It can be different rhythms. Let's see here. So this is essentially just running through a sequence of like different positions where the time knob would be. So if I make that a little bit slower and more discernible, you know. I can have that be like keeping me in time, but then adjusting like my playing also, you know? And then any of that could be, instead of like the sequence, it could be an expression pedal too. So like we could just be manually just going like, you know, sweeping the time knob with like a foot control or something like that.
Can you adjust the depth of the vibrato by setting it like to another parameter, or is it only delay time when it's adjusted with the expression?
It's any of the knobs on the front. So yeah, so that's kind of what I was saying before with each one of these dip switches. I actually don't know exactly where they are, so I have to look back here. So say we had time and the depth of the modulation, and I wanted the depth to go up, but I wanted the time to go down. I think that's what this will be then doing. So yeah, it's pretty subtle in the back. You can hear the modulation changing, yeah. Yeah, let's try this with a different pedal. So like, what if we did Brothers? So what if I was sequencing like the tone of A or B? So let's see here. We got this up. Just make this like very obvious. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm just turning the tone knob as I want for each sequence, or step in the sequence. Something like that, but then say I bring back the tonal recall with that same sequence that we were doing before. So it'll be sweeping the tone knob and the time knob. This with one of the other effects. So if we did like, I think we got Spectre on this one. Let's try a different sequence too. So if we did like there it is. This is that. Do the 0 point. So if I stop playing, you can really hear that the oscillation of the Spectre is changing per step. So yeah, this is the kind of thing that I'm super into, is just having like an effect that would typically be static, kind of like shaping how you play. Like you have to like react to it. Like if I was to just like play guitar over this, it like wouldn't sound good because I have something that's so rhythmically rigid behind it, you know. But like doing anything through that kind of pattern, I think is really neat. So like if we were to switch back to doing like that drum Snoop Dogg drum break thing that I had earlier or whatever, then having like a sequence behind it that was like affecting it in time, I don't know, you can get some really interesting sounds that way. And any of this kind of thing, like I could save any of these settings as presets. Not the sequence part, but like what is being adjusted with the expression pedal or the CV. And then if I have a sequencer that saves sequences, like this one, I could save that sequence and I go to play my show and like it's doing that thing, you know, it's like changing pitch and it's modulating the 0 point. And, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, anybody got any questions so far? I feel like I'm just talking. Sick.
So when you say presets, only externally, you can't say internally?
No, you can save 2 presets that are able to be recalled internally. So with this center toggle here on the bottom, that's going to be recalling your presets. Otherwise, if you have a larger MIDI controller, you can recall up to 122. And then with this fave switcher, it's going to be 3 banks of 2, so it's going to be 6 presets. Yeah. You?
This might be a bit too forward, but I love the pedals. How much are they?
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. Brothers, Spectre, Warp Vinyl, and Womb Tone are $349. Gravitas is $299, and then Tonal Recall is $399. And then the phase switch is $79.
It's the same voltage as like out of what Euro racks. You could have like an LFO.
5 volts.
5 volts.
Yeah, 5 volts. There are protection diodes on it. Be able to protect against more than that, but that's the idea. Is 5 volts. That's not too. Yeah. Any other questions?
Can you max the regen on the Tonal Recall?
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. If I unplug this. So if I have like that. So with the time up, and I turn the regen up, it's going to react more slowly. It's just going to keep going until it starts to distort and get all weird. But if I pull the time up, while that's happening, no, but we could have like, so say if I tap something in and then adjust the there. So yeah, I guess that's your idea. other questions? What time we got? 8:25. Right on. So yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else I haven't really covered yet. I guess I can show you guys how to save a preset. So say I like this setting on the Tonal Recall. Where it's just totally wacky. I want to save that. I want to play that at my next show. So I'm going to hit this button here. I'm going to hold it, and then I'm going to hit the other one. And you see that it blinks 3 times. I'm going to mess all these knobs up. And it's going to be, oh no, what happened? That's a totally different sound. And all I got to do is hit this toggle. It's the same preset. Yeah. So you can do that on both sides of this toggle, and then, like I was saying with the faves, you can do that with 6 presets. So yeah, right now I have the faves hooked up to the brothers. So if I hit this button, it's gonna blow up preset 1, preset 2. Oh, I've got it sequencing. Oops. Preset 1, preset 2. Hold the button. Go to the second bank. Preset 4. Hold the button. Go to the third bank. Preset 5, preset 6. Does that kind of make sense? Mm-hmm. Sweet. Let's do this raffle. Did everybody get a ticket? Let's see who won this thing, huh? I get a ticket? No way.
We get an analog drum roll.
All right. Who is number 281925? Yeah. Woo! That guy.
Yeah.